Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mike Dorsey.
I'm Keegan Smith.
And Merry Christmas, everyone. It's Christmas is Monday, a couple days away.
Yeah.
Exciting.
Yeah.
Hanukkah ended Wednesday.
Wednesday, so happy Hanukkah.
So, here's the thing. NFL, you got Gronk and the Pats hosting the Bills this week. Gronk, first time playing the Bills after the hit on Tre'Davious White he had a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Or
earlier
a few weeks, earlier. Cost him a 1-game suspension.
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
Well, I think Gronk is, that was a dirty hit.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Patriots are sore losers, so they were, he got beat, and then he did what the Patriots do, and it's just, he threw a fit.
Cry about it.
Yeah, he's a grown man. He should be able to, get beat on a route, and then just kind of give credit to the defender. And no, I mean, that's easier said than done. So even that, just kind of shut up and go back in the huddle, you know?
Yeah.
He basically, he drove his 6'8", 270-pound body into the back of a guy's neck. He's lucky he didn't injure him, a spinal cord injury, leave him paralyzed. I think that was a stupid by Gronk.
Yeah.
And so I think this week, he's really got to watch out.
Oh, yeah. And you have to look at it with all these NFL players nowadays, and I'm not defending Gronk in this because obviously it was wrong of what he did, but you look at all these players, it's every single play they're asking for a flag, a penalty, because they didn't get what they wanted, which was either a completion or an interception or whatever. It's ridiculous nowadays.
Yeah, the NFL is really just breeding divas, honestly.
Yeah.
You look at people like Marcus Peters a couple weeks ago threw a flag into the stands.
Yeah.
It's guys...
And then was laughing about it and has no focus on the game of football anymore.
It's like, you're grown men. You should be able to be grown-ups. Kids are watching them, looking up to these guys, and they're behaving like, high schoolers, middle schoolers. It's like they can't keep their emotions in check. Football is an emotional game, but you cannot let your emotions get ahead of you. It's ridiculous.
And like you mentioned before about all these allegations and everything with the NFL, it's turning into be a soap opera.
Yeah, So Rob Gronkowski this week's got to watch his back because the old saying, in baseball, it's if a guy's hit by the ball, then his teammates are going to hit someone else on the other team. It's a revenge thing. I think the same thing in football. Gronk delivered the dirty hit on White, so he's really got to watch himself this week flying down the field because there are going to be some defenders who are looking at 87 and finding a target.
Especially these division rivals in the Bills and the Pats. Obviously they don't like each other very much as it is. So
well, the Bills are hot, man. The Bills might just pull this off. The Patriots barely won last week, and they won on a BS call because that, I think... according to the rules, whatever, it wasn't a catch. However, the rules need to be changed. NFL draft coming up soon. The Cleveland Browns, winless. Who knows what will happen this week. They have 2 top 5 picks in this year's draft. How does that help them? Who do they pick?
How does that help them? I think they just have to make the right choices. They have to look at what they need. Quarterback, definitely.
Yeah.
It's almost a given every year the Browns are going to draft another quarterback. Deshaun Kaiser, obviously. But at this point, you look at the quarterback situation.
Yeah.
They've gone through, 19 quarterbacks in the past 10 years, something like that. And you look at this, and I don't even know if it's going to work anymore, a quarterback, because the organization of the Browns, they have, Josh Gordon as a receiver, Corey Coleman. Yeah. It's like...
Terrell Pryor.
No, on the Redskins now.
Oh, right. Oh,
exactly.
Right.
You think they have a good player, but then either they get rid of him or they just can't perform because of... if you were to take Deshaun Watson, for example, put him on the Browns. Yeah. Would he perform like he did in the first few weeks with Houston?
See, that's tough to say. But I think with a person like Deshaun Watson, he has that natural talent and the natural-born leadership skills. So I think Cleveland needs to start with a running game, honestly. I think, maybe draft a quarterback. They have the first overall pick, most likely. Yeah. So, draft your quarterback. Probably Sam Darnold from USC or Josh Rosen from UCLA. But with that 5th pick, you got to get Saquon Barkley from Penn State. He's an explosive running back. He holds the Penn State record for most touchdowns in a career. He was running all over the place this season. I think you got to get Saquon in there because that's the other thing. I mean, Isaiah Crowell is not the running back of the future. He's not building their team, and he's not establishing a running game. Hopefully, with the Browns' new GM, they'll make some smarter choices. Their new GM, John Dorsey from Kansas City.
Yep.
So, also, Alex Smith wants out of KC. New GM from KC in Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think they solved their quarterback troubles by hiring Alex Smith for the QB1 job?
That's tough to say because Alex Smith is 33, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Had a few years with San Francisco, then now moving over to KC. He's done well in KC under Andy Reid and John Dorsey. John Dorsey going to the Browns now. I don't know if they make that connection. I just don't. I don't think Alex Smith is the solution for a team like Cleveland. You look at their pick last year, Myles Garrett. Great pickup.
Yeah.
But he got
Where's he
hurt.
been?
He's hurt this year. So it's just a matter of who's going to work out for the Browns.
Yeah.
And how are they going to redevelop this team?
Yeah.
And maybe get a few wins in the season.
Well, Alex Smith is a solid quarterback. I love watching him play. He's smart, he's a decent quarterback. And then with Josh Gordon, if you have Josh Gordon to throw to, I mean, if you look at the Browns in the past 2 weeks since Josh Gordon's return, he returned from a drug addiction problem. He's about 3 years later, and they've been so much better. They almost beat the Packers, and they're holding their own in these wins lately, in these losses lately, even though they are still losses. So I think Alex Smith to Josh Gordon could be a connection. I think Alex Smith, if he wants to be a star, I mean, if you go to Cleveland and you perform like Alex Smith is doing in KC, I mean, he's going to be loved by that city. Instantaneous starter.
You look at Alex Smith, people look at Alex Smith and they say, oh, he's a game manager, he's a conservative quarterback. Well, now on KC, he's got weapons. He's got Tyreek Hill, he's got Kelsey, he's got Albert Wilson, he's got Chris Conley when he's not hurt. And now he's a gunslinger. He could throw the ball down the field, and that's what he's developed in KC. Maybe first couple years in KC, he's a conservative quarterback, but now he can throw the ball around. And I think that would be what people think of him as. Yeah. That would be great for Cleveland. That's what they need. They need a game manager quarterback, conservative, and if Cleveland ever gets those weapons that can develop to be good, you could look at Alex Smith performing like he is now at KC.
Well, they need someone to believe in. Really, the most consistent player on the Browns is their center, Joe Thomas, who is now hurt, but is basically a Pro Bowler every year.
Oh, yeah.
And, I mean, he's been their most consistent player. And, I mean, he's a center. Yeah. You can't be looking up at the center as your favorite player.
Yeah, and you look at the Browns, and sometimes you go into the huddles, and half of them don't even know the plays. It's like half the players say they're meeting like a new guy every other day, and it's ridiculous. And all these losses that they have, most of them heartbreaking losses. Yeah, forcing overtime at least 3 times this season, maybe more.
Changes need to be made to Cleveland. We'll see how John Dorsey handles this on NFL Draft Day.
It's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, because I'm rooting for the Browns.
I always root for the Browns.
I want to see the Browns
every single week.
I want to see the Browns do well. Because there was a time when they weren't too bad. Yeah. They just got to get back to that because, I mean, it's really to see the Browns like this. It's terrible. All right. Yeah. We have the Boston Red Sox. They signed Mitch Moreland to a 2-year, $13 million deal. So that means Hosmer's out. Think about J.D. Martinez from the Arizona D-backs. So he's still in the running. When are they going to make a move?
Definitely have to make the move soon. It's for JD there. Yeah. You look at him, he's definitely a powerhouse hitter, which is what the Sox need. Yeah, the Sox last in the MLB in home runs last year, and then they're not using their short park to their advantage. The Fenway Park was built in 1912, and so with a park that's that old, that was before guys really, this new era of baseball player that just hits it, a mile away. Oh, yeah. So
they have the short walls, shortest right field in the MLB, and JD Martinez, a right-handed hitter, had the most opposite field home runs last year in the MLB. So he could use that short right porch to his advantage.
Yeah.
And even in Yankee Stadium, the Red Sox play the Yankees a lot. Yankee Stadium has a short right porch. So I think JD Martinez would really tee off in those arenas.
I just don't see the move working out. Okay, he could play DH.
Yeah.
Good powerhouse hitter. You got Moreland at first now.
Yeah.
You just re-signed him.
Mm-hmm.
Hanley will have to sit the bench because, JD could play center, but they have no intentions of moving JBJ.
But Hanley's old. Hanley
but
could
it doesn't
sit.
matter.
They're paying him millions of dollars. He doesn't care. Hanley Ramirez is probably the cockiest player on the Red Sox. He's old, and every day that he sits, he's making millions of dollars to ride the pine.
Yeah.
So I think he'd be okay with it.
I think, though, I don't think that would work out, though. I think a team like the Rockies, however, who are also interested with JD Martinez, they have an opening for him.
Yeah.
Goes to the Rockies, Red Sox, move on to someone else. I don't think this is a good move.
But who would they sign? You have to think. Here's the thing. JD Martinez is literally, he is the most powerful free agent. Giancarlo Stanton off the market. So now you have JD Martinez. Eric Hosmer, that option is gone because they re-signed Moreland. So JD Martinez has to get in there quick, and he has to get in there to provide the power source that the Red Sox need. They need the home runs because that's going to make the difference. Even though they won the AL East last year, they barely scraped by. I mean, by the end of the season, Chris Sale was terrible. Rick Porcello was terrible the whole year. You had Doug Fister as your best pitcher. They barely got by at the end of the season. So they need the home runs. They need the power in the middle of the lineup.
But then do you look at the pitching situation now? Because, okay, you didn't hit a lot of home runs. They still scored runs. They were still able to score runs. But they got no pitching help throughout the whole year.
Yeah, but I think they're banking on Rick Porcello to turn it around, have another great year. He had a Cy Young in 2016. Mm-hmm. Last year, I have no clue what happened. He gave up the most home runs in the MLB. Yeah. I mean, he was terrible. Literally no way around it. He's a sinker ball pitcher, and he was leaving it high. And if a sinker is high in the zone, that's basically a hanger. I mean, that's just given hit. That's a given home run. So I think Rick Porcello needs to turn it around. Chris Sale has got to find a way to stay consistent because he started strong, and by the end of the year, he was, terrible. He was giving up home runs, and he was off time, too, because Sale has that nice quick pace that fans like and he likes. He hasn't shaken off a catcher in like 6 years, he said once. So we have him and Doug Fister with a quicker, motion, a quicker pace game. It really speeds up the game. It makes it more interesting. And they just got to get in their groove. Yeah. Because if they get slow and they get out of their groove, I mean, that's it for them.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So, and then you have Craig Kimbrell, who's reliever of the year. So I think the pitching, I mean, it's fine. You really need JD Martinez to get the offense going.
You just need the pitching to step up. Because, you have the pitching. You said it's fine.
Yeah.
They just got to step up, do their job. I think the offense will just do its own job. Do it for himself.
All right. Well, we'll see how this will play out. We'll see. I mean, you don't think it'll happen. I think it'll happen fairly soon.
I guess so.
I think by spring training, there will be a decision made. However, Dave Dombrowski, really putting himself on thin ice with his lack of action this offseason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna be interesting.
Yeah, they lost Ohtani, they lost Stanton, so if they lose Martinez, this will be huge.
All right, Keegan, I think this concludes our first episode of Here's the Thing Sports. Stay tuned for weekly episodes surrounding all things in pro sports. Yeah. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share this video, comment.
Weekly outfit ideas, comment, topics you want talked about. If there's anything that you find interesting in pro sports that you want discussed, just let us know. Also, hit us up on Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, HTT Sports 18. That's a username for both. Like our page on Facebook, and then follow us on Instagram. All right.
You could also hit us up on email too. Yes. And all links will be in the description. So, signing off.
Keegan, Mike, happy holidays.